we would not have the family we do today. I would like to share with you a little bit about our journey and how important it was for our family to have a life-affirming pregnancy center available in our town. We were so young then, and it was the women of New Beginnings who grounded us in our faith and helped us make the right choices at the time. Recently, I read a quote by an author named Robert Brault. It says, "Sometimes you can head off a decision you'll regret by looking into your heart and finding regret already there." I pondered for a moment and recalled a season in my life in which this quote proves to be so wise. In this particular season, I was a junior in college here at UCM, a cadet in the Air Force ROTC program, and I had just met a guy named Cody who I was head over heels for. Cody had just moved to Whiteman Air Force Base for his very first duty assignment as a maintenance officer. Things were going great for me at 21 years old until they weren't. 4 months after meeting Cody, I woke up having missed my period for the 4th day and began to worry. I decided to take a pregnancy test, and the minute I saw the word pregnant, I was flooded with so many emotions. Being a mother was a dream that I hoped for one day, but at a time when I would be ready. The way I imagined it, I would be rejoicing with someone who adored me, and I would have the total support of those closest to me. Not to mention, I would be mentally, physically, and emotionally prepared. I was not. At that moment, I was feeling shocked, ashamed, angry for robbing myself of the feeling of excitement I should have been feeling, and certainly overwhelmed. Not only was my world immediately shaken by the news, but by what this pregnancy would mean to my relationships, my plans, and my body. In the rush of thoughts and emotions, I began trying to figure out how to get myself out of the situation. At that moment, I knew there was only one option that would allow me to continue on the path that I was on and keep my mistake a secret. So I picked up the phone and searched the number for Planned Parenthood. I made an appointment for that week to abort my baby. With the appointment scheduled, I felt some relief, but my conscience was heavy. I was experiencing dissonance between my heart and my mind, and it was very unsettling. I thought that I would feel better after setting an appointment, but I didn't at all. I just wanted it to all go away. I decided to share with Cody the news, but not my decision to terminate the pregnancy. I was curious about his reaction and what his thoughts were. He was also shocked, but assured me that he loved me and would be there for the baby and me. After a night of unsettled feelings and missed sleep, I still didn't feel confident in my decision. I knew that what I was about to do was wrong, but there was no way I could go through with the pregnancy. I feared the response I would get from my parents. I knew they would be so angry and disappointed in me. They raised my brothers and I in a Christian home and worked hard to send us to a private school. I was raised to do things the right way according to God's plan. They had already experienced disappointment as my older brother faced an unplanned pregnancy with his girlfriend in college, and now me. All I could think was, how could I do this to them? I didn't know God's plan for me at that moment, although I did feel led to search for something else I could do in the meantime to help me feel better. After confiding in one of my friends, she told me about New Beginnings Women's Center. So I decided to go in and receive some counsel. I was met with the most genuine and caring ladies at the front desk that day. The first client advocate that I spoke to was April. We went into a private room where I was able to explain my situation, pour out my feelings, and share my fears and concerns in confidence. She was so encouraging with her feedback and promised that I was not alone, and that New Beginnings would be there to support me in my decision. After our counseling session, I felt a little better. She gave me a pregnancy test to confirm, then offered to schedule an ultrasound. That day, I was also introduced to a wonderful woman named Anne, who would become our mentor. I I made an appointment to come back the following day. I asked Cody if he wanted to join me, and he obliged. The next day we went back to New Beginnings together, and our nurse began the ultrasound. This was the moment that changed my life. As I looked at that little life in my belly on the screen, I saw the most perfect little baby. Once again, I was very emotional, this time with feelings of guilt and sadness for what I had planned to do, but also immediate love and desire to protect this baby. As we listened to the heart beating so quickly, I thought to myself, God has a different plan for me, and a plan for this baby. Seeing the ultrasound showed me very clearly what I was going to regret in life had I chosen to abort that innocent little life. I couldn't stand the little ounce of regret I felt in that moment, let alone what I would feel if I had followed through with my plan for the appointment. I don't think I'd ever be able to forgive myself. So immediately following the ultrasound that day, I canceled the abortion. I shared with Cody and Ann that I wanted to have the baby, albeit I knew after this decision, life was not going to be easy. First, I informed my parents of the pregnancy, which caused a lot of turmoil and distance between us. I felt a lot of disgust and embarrassment in front of my family and friends for the situation that I was in. They didn't know Cody and were not sure if he would prove to be a good father. I'm sure they were afraid that I'd be left alone to handle the baby on my own, as they didn't want me to bear the responsibility of being a single mother. I understood their concerns, but at that time, Cody and I had to do what was best for the two of us and the baby. We decided to get married a few months later, on December 1st, 2013. We knew we wanted to be together and loved each other, which was the main reason we tied the knot. However, in getting married, I was also able to alleviate the stress that was being induced by large amounts of doctor's bills I was receiving. Financially, it made life easier, but again, family relationships were impacted. Another decision I had to make was regarding my future career plans. I was so close to commissioning as an officer in the Air Force. I completed the rigorous training to advance in the program, earned my wings, and could see the finish line. However, with Cody in the Air Force and a baby on the way, we couldn't risk being separated at different duty stations. I ended up withdrawing from ROTC, but made it a goal to complete my degree. Being pregnant with my first child as a young college student in a relationship and marriage that was very new was not easy. Cody and I were trying to coexist and figure out a new norm for the two of us, together while preparing for a new baby. It was a very dark time, and we faced many hardships on every front. Due to our choices, we completely missed out on the honeymoon phase of marriage, and I was hardly able to enjoy the pregnancy. I often wondered if I had made the right decisions. But through all these struggles, Cody and I were able to find peace and solace each week as we met with Ann consistently throughout the pregnancy. It was there we could forget for a moment about all the stresses and share in the excitement of having and raising the baby together. It was there that I was reminded that I did make the right choice in choosing life for this baby. The support we would receive each week involved counseling from Ann, where we would discuss how life was going, share our stresses, and vent about our problems. New Beginnings encouraged us to be a team and provided a way through training to choose the best parenting style for our child, and allowed us to go into our parenting journey with a strong foundation together. We watched videos on how to care for a baby, had our many questions answered by Ann and our nurse Jennifer. Toward the end of our pregnancy, Patty even helped prepare us with prenatal exercises for comfort and to help with labor. As you can see, there's an entire team of nurses, advocates, and educators at New Beginnings who work together to come around a new family and give support in all areas. Through one of their programs called Learn While You Learn, Cody and I would accumulate points for every time we participated in a learning activity. We earned so many points and used them towards items at the in-house baby boutique. It had immensely during those first weeks at home. Because he was born in the spring, we were able to spend all summer together before sending him to daycare as I continued toward my goal of graduating. The stress of a new baby schedule, sending our newborn to daycare, my schooling, and postpartum depression was rough. But all I had to do was look at my sweet baby and know that everything was going to be okay. I reached my goal in December of 2014 and graduated here from UCM with a Bachelor of Science in Communication Studies. Cody, my family, and Mason were there to cheer me on as I walked across that stage. There was a point when I thought our decision might put an end to our dreams, but the truth that God has plans for a future that is even better than the ones I had became real. The presence of New Beginnings in this community and what it offers is what gave me the confidence in choosing life and support to carry through the challenging times. This was a difficult season in my life, but something beautiful came from it. Today, our Mason is 8 years old, so very handsome and smart. He has a big role in our family as he's the biggest brother to Levi, who's 7, Oliver, who's 5, August, who's 3, and Avery, our baby girl, who's 1. Mason, our oldest, was meant to be our oldest. He's such a sweet boy and a great role model for his siblings. God intended for Mason to be in our lives, and it was New Beginnings that helped us realize that. I'm so thankful every day that we have our sweet Mason and all of our little blessings from God. Because Cody is military, we move often. However, with every move, I've been able to seek out other women's centers that have allowed me to give hope to other young women. This inspiration to help other women in their time of need is a direct result of what New Beginnings did for me. Today, our family is stationed at Tyndall Air Force Base in Panama City, Florida. I'm currently continuing my education at Grand Canyon University online in pursuit of my master's degree in elementary education. Cody has made the decision to continue the path of his dreams and will be separating from the Air Force next year to begin a commercial pilot career. As the seasons have changed and I watched our beautiful family grow, I think about the power of my testimony, which is that I have no regrets in choosing life for my baby. I'm forever grateful for New Beginnings for supporting me in choosing life. From the bottom of our hearts, Cody and I thank you for being there, providing education and counseling, and for even preparing us with essential baby items as we needed them as young new parents. Most of all, we thank you for the friendship and the love we've always felt when we were at New Beginnings. I'd also like to say a special thank you to my parents who are here this evening. It means so much to have you present tonight. Thank you for your love and support. Finally, I want to thank the partners of New Beginnings who played a huge role in our lives, making it possible for us and hundreds of other families by providing support in choosing life for their children. You're making an eternal difference in so many lives. Thank you.